Hey gang, Ronan here. As you can see in this game, I am playing the Tier 7 Premium Japanese destroyer Yūdachi. This is a ship that I really like. It's not especially powerful, but I think it's very fun to play. I went over all the stats in some detail in the last video, so if you're interested in learning more about what the ship's capabilities are and such, different ways that it might be built out, you can check the video that immediately preceded this one for a great deal of detail about the ship. As promised in the last video, I wanted to get this video out because I had a pretty nice result in this game. I mean, I did in the last game too, but this one was especially fun. Just really briefly, the guns are 127s. They hit pretty hard. You've got 5 of them. They've got a 9-second base reload. The HE does 2,150 damage with a 9% fire chance. Generally speaking, reasonably accurate, even at range. The torpedoes, well, you've got 15 kilometers of range on these torpedoes. They move at 64 knots unless you enhance that somehow. And they hit for a maximum of 15,633 damage with seemingly a pretty decent flood chance. Now, all of that said, you can see that the way I've got this ship spec'd, you can check the mini-map. Well, I guess you can't see it actually right this second, but I've got 6.1 kilometers of of detection radius, and I'm trying very hard to get rid of that line on the bottom. It just doesn't seem to want to cooperate. There we go. No, not going to work. So we may just have to live with that. What made this game especially fun? Well, essentially, it boils down to this. I was able to sink a lot of ships. A lot of ships. Sorry, got distracted there for just a second. Okay, so what am I doing here? Well, I'm using the radio location skill, which is a little kind of semicircular thing that you see above my reticule there. And that tells me where the nearest ship is. Well, the Nuremberg is not in that little pie slice that is on the mini-map. So I know that there's a destroyer that's closer than the Nuremberg, and now you see it switches, which tells me that destroyer, well, he's moved away. The closest ship now is Normandy. So I'm aware now that there may be torpedoes crossing this direction. That destroyer that I mentioned probably is aware of the Furataka that you see just to my port side, now straight ahead of me. So I may see torpedoes crossing here. Which is why I changed course and have my nose pointed toward the cap. Now I do not want to get between the Furataka and the Normandy at close range, so I'm keeping my distance from Furataka, even though I would kind of like to start moving away from the cap until I know what else is out there. If you get too close to a big target, and you get between that target and what might be shooting at it, you can often end up taking damage that was meant for someone else. So at this point I've decided, maybe I'll get a little closer to the cap, but I'm detected, so it is time to bail. The Hatsuharu, well, it's got decent guns, just like this ship does. Nice hard-hitting torpedoes. And I'm going to smoke up here without moving just long enough to break line of sight. And now I need to beat feet and get out of here. Now that Hatsuharu, well, he has a pretty good game. And I'm able, toward the end of the match, to put an end to his range here on this side. I'm just going to run kind of south around the island here. Hopefully to avoid torpedoes, as we lose Cachalot and Ramat, and we've already lost La Galafsoniere. So we're down 3 ships in the early going. I mean, we're 4 minutes in, and we've got 3 ships down. So yeah, it can happen to anybody, I guess. But let's be honest, it takes a lot of starchy tuber. If you've never heard that term before, well, potatoes are tubers. That's a classification. So anyway, time for me to get a little bit farther away. Hatsuharu has probably a little bit better detection radius than I do, and he may be moving this way, I'm realizing. It looks like he came far enough this way. I'm going to get some more torpedoes out here. Widespread, because I'd like to land something. Furataka is known for being able to start a lot of fires with its HE. If I can get any flood at all, and then the Furataka can follow that up with HE shots, well, maybe Normandy burns down. Now I'm detected again. I know there's a Nuremberg here, so I have to be really careful. And there's the Hatsuharu again. I'm going to try the same trick I pulled earlier. I'm going to slow down. I'm guessing he may not want to fire his guns, maybe counting on his torpedoes, so I'm going to go ahead and use my guns, because the Nuremberg is behind the island and can't shoot me right now. You can see I've got Gaida moving into the cap with me. I don't want to eat a torpedo, so I'm going to slow down, change my angle of attack, and try to get my nose to the likely approach of torpedoes. Am I going to land one? Come on, come on. Well, the team did manage to finish off a Congo, a Tier 5 battleship. The Congo, well, it has a lot of speed for a Tier 5 battleship, and reasonably hard-hitting guns, although not especially accurate, as is the case with most Tier 5 battleships. So my torpedoes pass harmlessly by the Normandy. Our Arizona finishes off the Ramat, and then Normandy finishes off our Furataka. So far, none of my plans have worked out very well. We are down 5 ships. The red team is down 2. We are down La Galissonière, Ramat, Furataka, Farragut, and Catalan. The red team is down now Congo, Ramat, and Geneva. Well, as you can see, we're down significantly in points. It's 444 to 263. We've secured a cap as our team finishes off the Normandy, and I know that Nuremberg has to run. So I'm going to put torpedoes ahead of where I know he has to run, and in case he just turns and runs north, I've got the torpedoes placed where they might catch him. Now I'm considering what to do now, and I realize, well, you know, there's a red ship in the Charlie Cap. I don't want to push north like the Gaida is because, well, I know there are some red ships down there. You can see the Scharnhorst is pushing into our cap at the Charlie Cap. And I'm pretty confident Nuremberg is in big trouble here. Scharnhorst is probably going to turn toward the Arizona and the Congo. I'm aware of that. And I do catch the Nuremberg, and down he goes. See, he did actually turn north. He may have been trying to get torpedoes and or guns on the Gaida, who was visible the second he came around that island. I'm just trying to maintain distance from the Scharnhorst. I don't want to go around this corner and be visible to a battleship with pretty nasty secondaries. I just debated about whether or not to cross in front of this island, and I opt to go around it. So that's 1 kill, 11,655 damage. Not a heck of a lot. You see the torpedo there. That tells me that Hatsuharu is still out there and still causing problems. And you can see that the Scharnhorst that went into the cap right there is now moving the other way. But there's more than one ship there. So I'm going to see what I can do to help out. We're down 5 ships. The red team is down 5 ships. Hood is out this way. I have to make sure I don't get detected. And I will put some torpedoes out here. And then see if I can run south without getting detected. We've got Scharnhorst and Nagato north of my position. Scharnhorst can't get guns on anything, as the Undine takes out our Congo with a torpedo. And I'm thinking my torpedoes, well, they may end up just doing nothing. So here we are. We're 9 minutes into the game. I've still got 11,655 damage. And it did manage to sink a ship, but thus far, I have been very, very lackluster in my performance. I'm starting to wonder if that might change now. Because it looks like I'm going to tag the Hood. Boop. Down he goes, and maybe tag Scharnhorst. And I'm going to have an opportunity to sink the Mahan. Took a second there to gauge his speed. He's smoking. He's visible. I have to decide whether I want to stay visible. I think I do. His secondaries are going to be coming at me, but I've still got over 13,000 HP, and he's focused on the Arizona. So I'll get some torpedoes out. I go dark, and now I can work on trying to resecure this cap. You can see our Gaida is in the Bravo cap. Hatsuharu is still out there now harassing our Nagato. And suddenly I've got 3 ships sunk with 29,000 total damage, which, yes, is very, very little. So you could argue I really haven't done a whole heck of a lot, but I think my decision to head for this cap helped out for no other reason than I was able to finish up the Mahan, who may have with its torpedoes wrecked our Scharnhorst. Now, I don't have to worry about Pushin's torpedoes at all, and I can make use of this smoke because the Scharnhorst behind me is going to keep him lit. I don't have to worry about his torpedoes, but I do have to worry about the sub. Slow down here, and I did finish off the Fushin. Now I'm going to get my nose to the submarine and hope that I don't eat one of his torpedoes. And that's kill number 4. Kill number 4 with 35,284 damage. Now I have to try and help with the sub. I've got 15 kilometers of range on these torpedoes. I'm trying right now to start fire on the Scharnhorst. I'm looking at our Scharnhorst, I'm looking at their Scharnhorst as our Arizona gets sunk. And I'm thinking, okay, will that Emerald, just make sure I don't hit the island, conveniently just keep going the direction he's going? I'm still able to use the smoke here. Fortunately, that is in front of me thanks to the Fushin. I've secured the cap. Gaida is now heading for the Alpha cap. I know that the sub is out this way, and I'm going to try and ambush the sub if possible. We'll see. My guess is he may be on the surface. He may be using this smoke himself. It's just a guess. We'll see. Another batch of torpedoes, but I'm not going to need them. Go ahead and see if I can finish off the Scharnhorst, but I think not. I can see the submarine right in front of me, and our Scharnhorst finishes off their Scharnhorst. Now I have to be careful that I don't get rammed. A lot of sub players will do that. You can see he is coming to the surface. He's going to send out a ping. I think I can easily avoid these torpedoes. I don't want to go directly over the top of them, but I need to start slowing way down so he can't run into me as I do catch the Emerald with a torpedo, and now I'm just going to throw it in reverse and hope I can finish off this. Alright, so that's kill number 6. I've only got 63,000 damage, but I'm still feeling pretty darn good about how this whole thing's going. Now, the only thing left on the red team, we've got this game firmly in the bag. It's got to fix up the Alpha cap. We have all 4 now. The only ship that's left on the red team is the Hatsuharu. You can see it still has a decent amount of HP. I'm going to go over here and see if I can't help the Nagato. I have to explain to him that he needs to run south. It's okay that he gives up the cap. We got to get him out of there. And I'm just going to get there as quickly as I can and see what I can do. Yep. Already spotted that Sasquatch militia. Just hope you can survive this encounter with the Hatsuharu. And we'll see whether or not I can help. I'm the only one, really, that could help. Gaida is still in the Alpha cap. Our Scharnhorst went way to the south. Hatsuharu gets himself detected. Rough move. And right about now, I'm thinking I should probably rotate all my guns to the other side. behind smoke. My teammate in the Nagato's got him spotted. You can see his torps missed. That's going to create an opportunity for me now to run north in just a moment and position myself to catch him, whether he comes around the south end of this island that's more or less straight ahead of me or stays north of it. So I'm going to start moving the guns, change my line, and hope the Nagato will run this way. He's got probably close to 45 seconds to 60 seconds, if I had to guess, to turn the ship and start running. You can see he's doing that now. I want to make sure I don't end up on the same line he's on until I'm a little bit closer to this smoke. Keep my nose to where my radio location indicator is pointed. And at this point, I'm just hoping to get a chance to finish out this Hatsuharu. Okay, he knows I'm here. I know he's here. If his torpedoes are on the way, I have to try and maneuver away from them. But I have a feeling he was holding them, trying to get close to the battleship. A little bit of damage there. I'm going to get him with torpedoes. I'm already turning away. I'm going to throw on the brakes here in a moment. Boom. And throwing on the brakes allowed me to turn a little more tightly. And that's 7 kills, 67,000 damage. Yeah, I know. It's a ridiculously low amount of damage. But still, I feel really good about it. I picked up a devastating strike, a double strike, a Kraken, +2. Landed 7 torpedoes, 27 shots on target with the guns. Got an incapacitation, a couple of fires, 6 floods, captured and assisted in capture, 2154 base XP. I'll take it. Congrats to Harmon and the Omaha and Azator and the Gaida as well. And the Undyne and Scharnhorst and the other team played really well. You can see I put damage on a lot of different things. Granted, it wasn't a lot of damage, but it was enough. So 27 HE shells for almost, 14,490 damage, 7 torpedoes for 45,000, some depth charge damage. That was so delicious taking out a sub. Finished off 7 ships. That doesn't happen too often. If you have a game like that, please send me the replay. I'd love to highlight it here. Fairly short game. Very fun to play, exciting throughout, lots of opportunities that I was able to capitalize. It doesn't always go that way, as I'm sure you know. So when it does, a little bit of potential damage, feel pretty good about that. When it does, I celebrate. So I celebrated, and I'm celebrating right now. Decent XP. Thanks a lot for joining me. If you haven't already, I hope you'll like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.